good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good everything. Nice. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Single Parenthood. My name is Conchitah Lillian, and my co-host down there.
As usual, John Keane, how are you? Nice to see you. It's a lovely weather. There is some fantastic weather out here, man.
Yeah. So I am super excited for today, John Keane, because apart from that, we have, two people are supposed to join us. One is not here yet, but we have Kenyan-based in UK musician, T-Life in the building, people. He's currently doing
Hey, this guy can sing. This guy can sing. He has a voice. I listen to some of his tracks. Sam, you have some good talent.
Thank you. I'll keep them coming.
That's a good job. So tell us, Uliji Pataje, how did you get yourself in this wagon of ours of, like being a single parent?
Well, it's a long story, but I guess we have time, yeah? I had a child with a lady in Kenya, and we were not together at that time. I mean, we've never been together to begin with. And then we got together, and then a child came in the picture. And so it was a choice between deciding whether I want to be in the child's life or just be deadbeat. And I chose to be in the child's life. So, that was...
good choice.
Yeah, it was a good choice. I mean, I live with a terrorist, but it has its good days. There are good days when she's not terrorizing me. But I think it's the best choice I've made. I've made a lot of good decisions, given my story and where I am right now. But I still think that me deciding. I think me deciding that I want to be in Keshi's life is the best decision that I've ever made, because she's just a bundle of joy, So we had her, and then we decided that she would be with the mom who was living with the parents at that time, because we tried dating, but it couldn't work. It wasn't a thing. We were just two different people, and so we settled on raising the child together. So she was with the mother in Kenya. I was in Kenya at that time as well. She was living with the mother was living with the parents, so I would support her from there. And then a few months after that, she met someone, and we talked about it. We agreed, Jibambe, Miminta Jibamba, and she met someone, and then they decided to move in together. And then unfortunately, it turned out that the guy was violent, and I do not stand for any kind of violence, especially gender-based violence. And given that my child was in this picture, I had to do something. So unfortunately, it took a while before I found out, because the lady was one, afraid of the guy, and two, did not want the guy to leave her. So she chose to be silent with the suffering that she was going through, which is something I do not encourage. If you're out there, if you're listening to me and you're in an abusive relationship, you need to find help. There's lots of organizations that can help you out there. So I found out, luckily, and we started a process of me getting her out of that situation, because I still believed that I still wanted my child to grow up with the mother. I wanted my child to grow up knowing the mother, because I've not had that experience, and I've seen how it can affect a child's life, especially when they're grown. So I decided I wanted the mother to be in the child to be in the mother's life, and so I chose for them to live together. So a few things happened. The government got involved, and then I moved them from Nairobi to Kisumu, and rented them a place there where they would at that time the mother had a son as well with the guy, and so I kind of move the guy's child away from him, lawfully though, lawfully, because the child's life and the mother's life was in danger. So I had to do something, and I had the means to do it, so I chose to do it. So I moved them to a different city in Kisumu. They lived there for some time, and then unfortunately a few things happened after that, and so I decided to seek custody of my child. Went to court, and after a year of back and forth, I was awarded custody, and so I decided to bring my daughter to the UK. So that's how I found myself as a single parent. Yes.
What? That's such a story. I know. First of all, let us welcome Noni. Hi, Noni.
Noni. Hi.
Hey. Hi.
Hello.
How are you guys doing? Hey, hi. Oh, we didn't meet in the morning. Okay.
It's okay. So now remember, guys, to keep the conversation going on, we are currently live on all our social media platforms. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. Comment, share with your friends, because you know a friend who knows a friend who is currently, on this journey with us together. So this is a community. This is like a support group on how we go through this. So today we are going to talk about literally dating as a single parent. So Noni, experiences, how has it been like?
Avoid. Avoid at all costs. I mean, well, I can say it's been let me speak like a decent human and say it has been quite a learning experience for me. I mean, it's a journey. You see, I'm 8 years out, all right? So it's very different. If I'm speaking, I've been on my own for a long time. So when it's me, I come from a place where there's a lot of healing which has happened, overcome a lot of heartaches, learned how to survive in Nairobi, because I know this is a global issue. But hey, Nairobi, man. Hey, Nairobi is a special space. A special space.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Conchita, you're on mute. Sorry, I think you're mute. Kindly unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. I was saying, we're dealing also here with Timmy, and Timmy is on the other side of the continent. So Timmy, how's it been like dating as a single parent?
I wouldn't go as far as say avoid at all costs, but I would say it's a learning experience, like Noni said. It's something, because when you're coming in as a parent, you're coming in with baggage already, so you need, when you're looking for someone, you have to find the person who's going to be able to understand that there's someone else who comes first and then they come second, and not a lot of people like being second, so it becomes a problem. And of course, a lot of everything you do has to revolve around, especially when they're young and there's school involved and you're involved in their life, there's work and all that stuff. It's difficult. It's difficult, and it's hard to find someone who understands that situation is something that you can't really do anything about. You can't get yourself out of it. But I've had good experiences, so I would say it varies. It depends on a few things. Yes,
it's because he's the guy. It's because he's the guy. When you're a guy, I'm telling you, it's just easier when you're the guy, because I mean, let's just speak realistically. A guy will be like, okay, if you're acting up, I'm gonna go to the next one. I'm trying my luck there. A guy has more options than a lady. You know what I mean? A guy with children can hook up in almost a long-lasting situation, if you ask me, compared to a woman with 2 children, with a guy who doesn't have children, or who maybe even just has 1 child.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I don't know if it's. I don't know. I don't know if a guy has
Just
more options
oh
because
yeah.
look, I feel
Maybe
like a
sure.
woman would. My opinion is a woman has more options because,
Mm,
like, especially if she's still relatively young and good looking, and there's a lot of guys who are going to be, in her business and asking stuff and blah blah blah. When you're a guy, there's always that. Look, from my experience, whenever you tell someone, "Oh, there's this child," and they're like, so tell me about the mom," and then you're like, "Oh, this blah blah blah," and they're like, so there's just the child. You sure? It's
mm.
Yeah, we are scared
yeah,
of baby mamas. We
it
are baby
becomes it
mamas
becomes
too.
difficult as well. But when you see when you say and I know it has a lot to do with stereotype and stigmatization, which is not good. When you're a baby mama, for example, and I'm just gonna be honest as a guy, we don't really care much sometimes that there are children involved. We just like, yo, if I like you, I like you. Well, if there are children, well, they'll join the party later. But for now, it's just me and you. Uh, it's
Like
so
Mm.
that.
there's that as well. So it's
Yeah.
from both sides. There are challenges, but I wouldn't say that guys have it easier than women because I have to explain myself much more. It's harder to believe that umse yani this guy just decided he wants to chukua mtoto, live with,
Yeah.
and be a single dad. Like so you have to explain more before mtu atake kujua kukuja home. For example, mimi nikidate siletagi mtu home unless tume date for a while. Unajua sitaki kuintroduce
Yeah.
mtoto kwa every person I meet. Kesho
Yeah.
Yeah.
ataanza kuuliza na niko na maanti wengi aje. So una avoid nini ratio ya ma-aunties wenye mtoia na mimi. So
It's
that
true.
ukiambia mzee siwezi kuleta home ama huwezi kuja kwangu, inakuwa kuna ni nini unaficha kijana wewe ama yo mtoto
Yeah.
wako, si ndio?
You're hiding your wife.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
hiding your wife. That's
Unaona?
what you're
So
hiding.
I wouldn't say it's easier for guys. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not.
John King,
Yeah.
John King, what about you?
I completely agree with Sam. It's not that easy as you think. See, that easy because, well, you can, you become attractive at some point. The fact that you have a child, and I think some possibly you face this a lot. You're hanging out with your daughter and things like that, and you all of a sudden you look interesting as opposed to
Yeah. Yeah.
imagine in my case, I became a single parent because the mother of my child passed away. Now, when you go out on dates and somebody start asking you the questions of, oh, so what happened? How did she die? All of a sudden, the WhatsApp messaging start going down because she's not very sure whether you had something to do with her death.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know. Hey, hey. I'll be like, Becky, no. Do not meet that man. If I die
As a
now,
woman, you can just say,
no,
as a
don't
single
do
mother,
it.
you can just say, well, the dad left. You can. It's easier.
Yeah, he
Like
walked
if
up
if
one
you told
day
me
and
the dad walked out, I would
yeah,
totally understand. I wouldn't need an explanation. But you see, like
Mhm.
Veke is saying, my wife died. So that's in the head. You're just thinking, oh, so that's the excuse you decided to go with. You decided to kill your wife, eh?
and they killed them,
Dude,
man.
what's up?
Hey,
You
many
know,
wives
I
have been killed many times
sorry,
in stories. Ooh.
sorry,
I know
Noni.
for a
Don't.
fact, I know for a fact,
Hmm.
sorry, Duncan, I know for a fact that a lot of people tend to manipulate situations when they hear something like, this person has separated from this person, this and this and that. Like I was telling this guy the first time when I went out on a date, I cried in the washroom. I literally cried tears. And then after that, I'm like, okay, let me powder myself back. Went back and sat down at that table. And the entire time I was holding my phone, showing the guy, so this is my dad. daughter on her first birthday. So this is my daughter
Yes.
during this time.
Yes.
So this is my daughter, like I kept on talking about my kid the entire conversation, and I feel like I suffocated that guy. Because I was supposed to talk about me, but the entire conversation was, oh my God, this is how much, oh, she's so adorable. Oh, look at, do you guys ever experience something like that? Noni?
I'll tell you this, Conchita. I feel like that's
Mm-hmm.
something everyone has to go through the first time because, like, for me, it took me 2 years to go. And no, I'll go and drink with my boys. And because my boys are typical boys, they're going to be like, can we drink some Glen, watch a siasa? They don't want to hear about your sad tears. Oh, my relationship didn't work. What am I going to do with these 2 damn kids? They're just going to say, come and drink and relax first. So it took a long time. And it took someone not in my circle and someone very bold to be able to come and step up to me because I dismiss you with my head from very far. When I see you come to me, I'm like, no, honey, I am not the one. But he came. And so we went out for dinner and I was so anxious. I wouldn't say I was like emotional or afraid or trepid, but I was nervous, just like, how do I look? This is the first time I've intentionally tried to look good so a guy can say, oh, you look good. But once we went to dinner, like it was a very nice restaurant in La Vie, and he tried, he put in the effort. But now the nervousness did what you did and took me straight to the phone. And I was swiping from, this is the first time I saw my baby on the phone because I'd come from surgery. So, of course, at first it's interesting. But after 10 minutes, I'm sure this nigga is like, Allah, I would have just picked your kids also. We all eat together. I asked them the questions themselves. So I had to, with time you learn. But the problem is the learning process, you need to be prepared because the wolves are out and the wolves like broken items. Nice, easy to capture prey, not difficult to capture. And they see it from very far. So you have to prepare your heart for strength. Because if your heart was broken by the parents of your child, maybe your previous relationship, that was just a trial. Okay? That was just an introduction to the course. That was the starter. That was your prawn cocktail. The steak is coming, okay? The steak is coming. So you have to be very prepared in your mind. You have to know, I've gone on a date. I've not gone to introduce this guy to my kids. It's just a date. Enjoy it. Yeah. Eat some free food, drink some free whiskey, and enjoy yourself,
So we have Stella Mbedida. She's saying, I hear you, Noni.
Oh, yeah, we have heard of this.
We have Kishaga Katema saying, hi guys, hi, welcome guys. Remember to keep on sharing this conversation. It's about dating as a single parent, how we are doing currently, because at the end of the day, this is for everyone. Now, John King, did you show pictures of your baby in the first date, or how was it?
Mine went this way. After a while, I decided, after talking to a couple of friends, they told me, you have to get yourself out there. It's you have to move on. So I went out on a date. This was the first time, you have your traditional mind and the way you're thinking, and you're still feeling like, you need to explain yourself over and over again. So I ended up, explaining my story, my journey, and sharing the photo. Showing the photo of my daughter and getting the oh nice kind of thing.
She's so cute. When do you show me your M-Pesa statement? But yeah, let's continue.
But at the same time, you're absolutely right. It gets so strange when you get out there again. Your mind is fixated on the point of raising your child or raising your children. You're the only person now available, so your mind is really fixed. So Sam, I don't know, when you went out there and you started now going out on dates, and how was it for you? I think, did you find it strange, or you found it, you're a musician, so you're a likable guy?
Yes.
I mean, first of all, on the issue of showing off your children or your child on the first date, or it happens to everyone. I don't, unless the person does not want you, unless you're out there and you don't want this person to know about your children or to know about your life, you're not comfortable with that, you're not going to show it. But sooner or later it comes in. Keshi's all over social media. I have a hashtag called Baba Keshi, and at some point it was trending. So she's probably more famous than I am. Everybody knows who Keshi is. So I remember I was in Nairobi, and then tukaenda West Sarit, she was a fine woman.
I like how that conversation has gone.
This is the one, and then she was like, do you know someone called Keshi? And I'm like, yeah. Are you Baba Keshi? I'm like, okay, what gave it away? I see you on Facebook, blah 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 blah. Tulikuwa tumeconnectiwa, kuna venye besti alicheza kama yeye, someone played kama yeye. Anyway, so the conversation ended up being all about Mtoi, Keshi. I think I spent a lot of money that day. We ordered starters, drinks, main dish. The entire time it was just, so Keshi this, Keshi that, Keshi this, Keshi that. And then in the end we were like, oh, so it's time to go. So nakuona lini tena, when am I seeing you again? And she's like, I'll come home, nitakuja home. Instead ya kupatana kwa restaurant, I'll come home to patane na Keshi, so that we are all, akukuja, she didn't come, but it is that was it. So I learned from that. Like Noni said, you live and you learn. So next time, as much as yes, you're itching, you want to share everything about how awesome your child is, you like, yeah, I want to share, but you share, you say Keshi this, but I am also this, and what about you? Tell me about you as well. So you mix it in the conversation, and then I've had, I would say, good experiences. I think most of the best ones that I've had actually have had a lot to do with Keshi herself. I think she's the best wingman I can ever have, to be honest.
And I feel like most guys tend to use that
works like a charm.
Women.
Yeah, it works like a charm. Charm.
Good guys. Okay, if we're gonna look at social media, John King, do you mind reading that?
Yeah, so Dina is saying, I dislike guys once they know I have a kid or kids, they say, Ati, how are your kids? Please, manipulation at its best. And by the way, that's the thing. That's thank you, Dina, for that. Yeah. Thank you, Dina, for that. And that's what you are saying. Even for us, single dads, we are like, come on, man, don't keep on asking me so much about her. She has her own life. She can tell you her story. One day you will meet her. She'll give you all her story.
Exactly. That's the same thing we talked about last week. Yeah, that's the same thing we talked about last week. Like, don't ask me how is our kid. Listen, when I date as a single parent, I am dating for, look at all this. You need to gas to take care of them, okay? It's not the other way around. But you find people who think that you asking about the kids, it's going to make you soften up and be like, oh my God, our babies. No, this kid has their own parents. Your job is to focus on me when I am dating you. And the fact that, especially with women, I've seen a lot of women tend to manipulate that. They want to show how much they love your kids. They've not met these kids, For a fact, they've not met this kid. So we have, still on social media, at Alex Owiti, who says, I think it's too early to give such information about your kid on a first date. Size up first, then maybe on a second date, you can introduce your child to them. And then we have at Stella saying, I think it's best to keep our kids out of the dating game. Alafu Alex there goes back to supporting and said, I told you last time, ukitaka maziwa, penda ndama. Welcome back, Noni.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
It's okay. None of it. So this brings me to the next question. When do you think is the right time to introduce this other person to your kids? Because I personally don't. I never introduced anyone to my kid.
Exactly. Is there a particular purpose? You see, there's this, if you are married like me, there's this concept in your mind that this marriage ended, you will grieve the loss of your marriage, you'll go through the stages of grieving, which is the standard stage, all the stages of loss, whether it's a relationship, but it's the same process. Then if you do not get yourself healed, and if you can't do it by yourself, get therapy, a counselor from church, a trusted older person or someone. You need somebody. Get a support group. You need a place where you can be able to express that anger because it is there. Now, once you do all those things, you feel you're ready to go and date someone else. There's a jaded concept in your mind that this is the person who I will remarry and will have a blended family. Now, the reality is it doesn't happen like that. Those are such rare occurrences that happen where there's Julia Roberts and Richard Gere. But otherwise, like in real life, no. What you have is a bunch of heartbreaks waiting to happen. So why not break your heart yourself, by yourself? Why do your children need to meet who you're dating? Because you'll date. Dating is very casual. I can date 3 people. We're dating. When it moves from dating to a relationship, means the head of that relationship has intentionally asked the other partner for this relationship to go to the next level. I encourage it to be a man myself. That is what I would recommend. So assume a man has now said, I would like us to see each other exclusively. I would like to spend more time with you in a family environment. And if you allow me, I would like to meet your children. You can ask him, why would you like to meet my kids? And if he says, because I feel if this is going to be a thing, we all need to know each other. And then you ease the meeting of your children to your partner. Because remember, if he leaves you, he leaves them too. And leaving is a way of life. We must teach our children that people leave. You can't shelter them like that. People die, people move on. People don't get along after they got along so well and they got married, and 3 months later, it's really just not working, you know? So at the same time, children have to know this is not the year 2000, this is 2021. Things have changed. Relationships are less constant. They last for a shorter time. Monogamy is more of a myth now, and it's to both genders because we can't follow the same methods that our parents followed. It's not the same time. The same way, it's their time was not the time of their parents. So we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And I mean, I especially people who are newly single parents, maybe 1-2 years or so, I would really encourage you, heal yourself first. Fix whatever it is, because it takes two. Fix whatever it is on you. And then also make your money. I don't know why we're so fixated on dating and being in a relationship. That's for music videos and maybe 22-year-olds. Like, our focus should be getting better governance and living a better life when our kids leave the house. I mean, you don't want to retire poor. So why focus your best years using your heart, which is to keep you alive? All you do is keep hitting with heartbreak from Brayo, Kevo, Alan, Mikey. I mean, just prioritize. Your children need your best energy. Right now, if you're a single parent, this is your best energy. Give it to your kids. Then whatever is left, if you have energy, tell Brian Akuja, as in keep it casual. Don't kill yourself, man. Kill yourself for a nigga. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my God. On that note, Noni, Asika is saying Noni is my new spirit animal. Such wisdom, I agree with almost everything. Of which, by the way, Noni, you are also my spirit animal. Legend.
Yes.
This is not gonna happen.
Yes. And then we have a
But it's not going according to plan.
Oh, wait, you're gonna reply on that one. But we have a Silambili who says, I like the money part. One needs to be at peace first, other than getting to a relationship, regardless of how long you're single for. So, Noni, you can respond to your new fan over here, and then we take it to Timmy to tell us how it's been like.
I want to tell you something. You see, when you, especially for women, so for this one, I'm going to speak for women exclusively. Empower a woman economically and see her taste in men change.
Mm.
A lot of women empower them and then tell them, will you still choose this Joroge you're with? You guy, Joroge will just be saying, Kutokaire show. You know, like empower a woman and her whole choice changes. All her in everything, where she lives, how she dresses, what she drives, who she interacts with, where she goes for her social life. So why don't you empower yourself first, man, woman? Empower yourself first, empower your kids. That time you feel you have, you're so lonely, do yoga. If you feel you want someone to hold you, I don't know, go for a massage, go wrestle. In wrestling, you'll be held tight, like really tight. You won't feel lonely again, you know.
You got someone that's wrestling right now, Noni. Okay, serious.
I remember the Undertaker. I don't know anything.
I Noni.
But sorry, I mean, I agree. I completely agree with Noni. You know, kids get broken down, especially, you know, you've introduced some say, you know, how many aunties can you introduce? You can, at some point, you're going to run out of aunties to introduce your children to, right? So you have to be
You can never run out of aunties, though.
You just say artist, John. Where's this artist you've been having?
He's one who's gonna tell us about the aunties of London.
The anti-society.
He's gonna tell us about the Keisha, Angela.
I mean, I think if I can add something else, I completely agree with everything that Noni said. It's important to use your best years to focus on yourself and your kids. And I would just add that at the end of the day, with just like with everything that we do, there's always the element of risk that is involved. Sometimes I feel like you would meet a person, and of course, because you want to focus on yourself, you want to shield yourself and your child or your children. This person could be a good person, a genuine person who's good for you, and because of what you have been through, you feel like no, I don't think I want to get into that. And so I would say sometimes it's good to take a risk. You know, you don't try every Brayo and Joroge. Sijui Brayo alikosea watu nini, but yes, you don't try every Brayo. Yeah. But I think if you've been a parent for a while and you say you've been in the dating scene for a while, you've met enough characters to be able to judge relatively well from who's genuine and who's interested in the person more than the situation that person brings and stuff like that. And so I would encourage people, I would say as well, if you see that there's that possibility, there's potential for something, take a risk as well. Just don't do it with every person you do, but from experience you will be able to tell, maybe aka kanjoro aka kakevo ebu acha nijaribu nione, and then of course yeah, and heartbreaks are going to be there regardless, because unless you've made the decision to be single for the rest of your life, you might check whatever amount of time you want, and then decide
Mhm.
at some point you're like, right now I feel like I'm healed, I've made enough money, now I want to settle down. Right, let me give this Sam a chance. Of course, jina mzuri sana. You see, hatujaribiwa jina, Sam, beautifully named. Let me give Sam a chance. And then Sam turns out to be the exact thing or person that you did not want. And then, they take you back and the cycle repeats itself. So maybe risk is also, it's important to allow yourself to live, I would say live a little. Not with Kevo though. Yeah.
I completely agree. I completely agree. And I was telling Conchita earlier today that, I still believe in love and all that kind of thing about stuff. I think there are people who are genuinely okay and they're genuinely good. Because at the end of the day,
you are. But here you are, JK. Here you are. Here we are, the two of us together on this show.
Wait,
let me tell you, there's this thing we were talking about whereby you find that you've just met someone the other week. Then the next day, they're like, oh my God, Conchita, I love you.
Forget. I live and move. I live and move. If you know where I live, I have to move. I have to move.
You're like, okay. Then you have a drink and just like the meal just here for the drink. Like I was just here for the drink.
Thank you so much.
I have a different opinion on that. It might not be a popular opinion. It might not be a popular opinion, but I have a different opinion on that. I say personally, I believe that love is a feeling. It's an emotion. It's not a time frame. That's just my say. Because a lot of people would lose a person because it wasn't enough. There wasn't enough gap between the time we met and the time you said I love you, and so you're already out just because of that. Personally, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think love should be taken as an emotion. People will confuse love with love. And also, they'll be like, if I don't tell her I love her now, she might not give it up, so let me try playing the love card to see if she'll give it up. There's that element as well.
I feel like Sam, I feel like what guys have done is to stop trying to know their person.
True.
You get, if you want to take me out on a date, you must know what to do. Because with me, one wrong move, I'm gonna eat that food, but I'm gonna go after that, like immediately. Because you have to be very specific. There are words, so there are things. You can't be like, from what I've seen from this chick, I've talked to a few guys who know her. Don't come here with emotions. Just be cool. Talk about hip hop a little bit, talk about stuff. She likes this. Okay.
Yeah.
I've realized I'm giving listeners leakage. See. So I'm like, they put a little effort and you won't take.
What are the notes?
See, Alexa, record. No, but at least imagine if you know that this is Conchita, I've taken her out, I've done enough research, I've bribed Noni, and now I know. Conchita, don't come and start saying, I've been thinking of you all day. Conchita will be like, nigga, you don't have a job. Like, why?
That is me.
So,
I would say that. Like, think about global warming.
Continue.
I'm so traditional. I'm a chick. I'm the one who should text you all day. And then you wait a bit and then you text me back. Okay? But now you can't be texting me more than I'm texting you. And it's me. Another person will be like, oh my God, he needs to text me all the time. So it just varies like that. If you know your person, and if I know this guy, this is the first time we've hooked up, I've slept at his place, by now I already know him. He's the kind of guy for the woman is the one who cooks. If I've reached up to that point, I already know. So let me not sit and wait for him to cook. Then I go like, wow, you're not cooking for me, because I already know who I'm dealing with.
Yeah, well, if
Yeah.
if I can add something else, we also a lot of time when someone is asking someone out, or someone is going on a date with someone, we forget
Mm-hmm.
that the everyone has layers. You know, we all have layers. Say I am asking you out because I saw a picture of you, or I met you at an event, and I don't know your personality. I just saw what I saw, and I was like, I'm asking her out. And then
Yeah.
I ask you out, and then I forget that there's your personality. I need to figure out your personality. I need to
Mm-hmm.
figure out, how to unlock the person that you are, rather than
Yeah.
just know you, on the surface. And I
Yeah.
think that is where a lot of us go wrong, because you meet someone, they're really lovely, you go out with them, and you just want to know the superficial part of them. You don't want to know what makes them tick. You don't want to know their personality, because people have you'll find that someone is very, very good looking and very attractive, but then their personality is just not there, or is just not like we are on social media, so their personality is not good, for lack of a not lack of,
Mm-hmm.
but for preservation,
Mm-hmm.
so we forget that, and I feel like that plays a huge role on how long it takes us to get to know someone. Or sometimes you say, oh, I thought I knew you, but now I'm starting to find out who you really are, because there was that time of
Yeah.
getting to know you, I did not really try to get to know you. I just wanted to know, oh, she likes this type of food, this makes her laugh,
Mm-hmm.
this makes her smile. There was no what makes her tick.
Conversation.
Yeah, I didn't get to
But
know the
what
person.
makes
Yeah,
a tick? I always
yeah,
like that question. What makes you
yeah,
But
tick?
the thing is, you see, for me, I would say I'm usually the opposite. I want to know your demons fast before I can be able to get anywhere. Because I personally want to know, okay, so you're out here being all goody goody two and all that. What are your demons? Because if at all I'm dating you and you want to go like the long term, I would want to know your demons fast. Because sitaki surprise to mashetani later. You understand? So, like, lay it on the table. This is how it is. So, by the time I am getting involved by this certain person, they know that this is where it is. But I have a boundary. When it
yeah,
comes to meeting my kid, you don't have access to that
yeah,
until a certain level. Like Noni said, when we decide that we're in an exclusive relationship, then you might meet my kid. But after that, I would have talked to the father and tell the father, listen, just out of respect, like, no, this is
Yeah.
it. I'm in an exclusive relationship with this person, and
Yeah.
I
yeah.
am
Who's
going
coming in?
yeah, I'm going to introduce this. So the other thing I really wanted us to talk about today is, I don't know, has either of you ever experienced discrimination, when it comes to single parents? Then the other thing also we need to discuss is more of like, when it comes to the gender of kids, I have noticed that a lot of men will be like, hey, niaje, oh, yes. But when they hear like this person has kids who are boys, conversation shifts. So what is usually the issue here? Why do a lot of men prefer women with girls more than women with sons?
Maybe I'll speak because I have sons and I have dated someone who actually honestly told me that
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong except that I have sons,
Wow.
grown sons. And he's like, I've never met a woman like you. I've just never, but I can't be able to let this go. And we're very good friends actually. We do some business together, but I love the honesty. It's the same way I find it difficult to date a guy with kids because there's a baby mama. And no, I'm the kind of person, if you look for me, you'll find me. Ukinitafuta, utanipata. I will avail myself to you. So I'm just like, to avoid that drama and, the Edgar Barry, I don't want problems. So I'm just like, yeah, this girl just tries to raise her kids in peace. So as in some of these things, they keep you out. Maybe that's the discrimination you would say, because guys lie so much. And no, me, I'm always there like, oh,
Anybody
boo,
lies. Girls lie too.
you're
Oh
live
boy,
on my Insta.
that lie a
And then
lot.
some people's gonna see it and go like, that's Jerry's husband. But this guy has said he's never been married. In fact, this is the first time you think you're married after meeting me. And then you're just there calling your mom, Mom, I found him. I found him. Can we be serious in life? Make your money. But like discrimination, because I'm a single mom, no. In fact, it's helped me because like for me with my boys, they'll be like, you can't pay bills. Unalipa hizo bills za nyumba, things like that. So they'll be like, let me buy you a boti. Those I've experienced a lot of good stuff, I would say. But I've never, and I'm the only single parent where I live in a neighborhood with 6 houses. Everyone is family here. In fact, before this funny curfews were put in place, I'm the only one who used to come home after midnight. And that's because of my job. I run clubs. So 4 a.m. I've come here, I'm singing, ooh, reggae master. When you find someone to do traveling the next day, serious people.
Oh my God!
I don't know if I don't know if John Keane has experienced any discrimination as a single parent.
Well, I think maybe some will attest to this, but as a single father, you hardly get that kind of discrimination, especially in this. In fact, you get the opposite. You possibly get woye kind of discrimination, where you don't need a woye situation, situation. You are discriminated based on that because sometimes people look at you as somebody incapable. How can you be raising a child by yourself? And
and you're a man.
But at the same time, when you go to public place, generally you want to go to a public place and all that, and you have a child with this era of pedophiles and all manner of things. People look at you, like a sex offender somewhere, look alike somewhere, in another state or something. That form of discrimination.
That's true. Especially if the child is crying. I'll look at you so suspiciously. Paul, I'm not even lying. I'm gonna look at you like, hey, who is this person?
Exactly.
Have you stolen this child?
Yeah.
Exactly. So those kind of situations, you find yourself, the child is crying for one reason or the other, but somebody is looking at you suspiciously, like, this one must have stolen a child. There's a baby mama drama situation. Amepotea na mtoto. Those kind of things. One thing that I realized, Noni, I'm happy that you don't have those kind of situations, but I know situations whereby somebody's dating and as a boy, especially a lady with a boy or with boys or something like this, becomes so complicated in the dating scene. There are those people who want, they're looking for certain things in a personal relationship. But then the moment you mention that I'm a parent and I have a boy or boys, then the discussion goes differently. And I kept on wondering, what's the big deal with the gender? What's the big deal with the gender? Is it more acceptable when they are younger, or and then it's more complicated when they are older? It's a confusing situation for me. I've not experienced it. I don't know, Sam. Have you experienced some level of discrimination or have any kind of experience in this?
I wouldn't say I have, to be honest with you. Like it's common knowledge, and it's unfortunate that we are in 2021 and still, when a woman says I'm a single mother or a baby mama, she's looked down upon compared to when a guy says I'm a single father. When you say I'm a single father, they're like, oh right, it's kind of a privileged position to be in, if I can say. But I have not been discriminated against or seen any sort of kind of discrimination towards me being a single father. But at the same time, I agree with your point about the age that we live in and the suspicions that people have with you. I have a daughter, of course, and sometimes you're in a situation where she's maybe not crying, you're just playing, and people will be looking at you like, he's a black dude, especially when you're abroad. He's a black dude, he's got dreadlocks, and he's playing with that child, and that child does not look very comfortable. Me and Keshi have fights sometimes, as she's a terrorist. Like I said, she
Yeah.
terrorizes my life. So sometimes we at a park, she tries to
Terrorizing.
terrorize my
She
life.
terrorizes you sometimes.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh no, not today, not today. So there becomes an awkward moment, and then people will be looking at you like, what's up there, But I haven't. Thankfully, no one has come up to me and asked me, "Are you the father of that child?" Because I'd probably be in jail right now. But I have not faced any discrimination. Thankfully,
But
yes.
the strange thing is,
Personally.
Conchita, just as
Yeah.
I know because you have faced it. When you finish, I want us to discuss about their schools where you can take your child in Nairobi if you're a single parent. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If
There's that
it's
as well.
discrimination, let's talk
Mhm.
about the schools here. I won't name
Yeah.
names, but they're there and we all know them. But they don't
Mm.
accept your child, even if your child is a brilliant A student. They're not going to
Mm.
take that child in because you're a single parent, even if you're widowed.
That one
That
I've
is
faced. I think,
and
yeah,
it's so
that one
sad.
I have faced.
Because you see, like I personally, I'll say I have experienced the discrimination part, but it's more of like where I live. I am like a young mom, so the place whereby we live, it's apartments. So I remember this time it was on our estate WhatsApp group whereby people are calling in. They're like, "Oh, Mama Flani, what?" I was like, "Sawa sawa." So what is it? And the women, it's amazing. It's the women who are attacking me. Oh, small bodied. Oh, she's a single mom. Oh, husband snatcher. Oh, I'm like, first of all, I will snatch your wig. Don't come at me with that. You know?
Don't come at
And
me.
don't come at me. And I asked them, of all the things, ladies, all you're doing is more of like attacking me here and there, saying, I don't know, I'm a single mom. And you see, me, when you find me when I have time, I will create time. I create time. So it's like, ladies, now let's deal. What is the issue? Or even like, we see men in and out of our house. I'm like, ah, yeah.
It's
Which
your
men?
house,
It's my house.
but it's your
And you see, the
house.
thing is,
So
I
what?
have friends, and I'm sorry, I don't get so well with a lot of women. A lot of my friends are male. And over the weekend, when my kid is at her dad's, I don't like going out. So most people will prefer coming to my house with chill. So now they're attacking men. I told them, at our 3 p.m. ajafika. Uyo, ulikuwa morning.
On the way.
Within location after here. Within location.
I had to put my foot down, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hiyo peke yake. Wanakuja daily. I am single. You're married. Focus on your marriage. Be happy.
Yeah.
Okay? We don't need to snatch wigs. But now let's talk about these schools whereby they don't accept, single parents. Have you guys experienced that?
Yeah.
If I can go first, sorry. I have. I think I had forgotten about it. It happened when I was trying to get custody of my child. And she lived in Kisumu with the mom, and then I lived in Westlands. I lived here, but then when I'm in Kenya, I live in Westlands. So I was living with her while I was going through the custody case and stuff. And I went to Westlands Primary to try and move her there, and I was told that the places are full. Of course, this is how I look. I'm not going to wear a suit because I'm taking my child to school and I want the school to think, oh, he's a good parent. And what you see is what you see. Yeah. So I go there and they're like, yeah, it's fully booked. You need to talk to this person, this person. I go to this person. They're like, oh, head teacher. I go to head teacher. The head teacher's like, oh no, this was a Westlands Primary. And then someone recommended that I go to a different school, and I go to this other school, and they're like, where do you live? I tell them I live near Park Inn, and they're like, but there's Westlands Primary. Why are you coming all the way here? And I'm like, oh, they told me the spaces are full there. And she's like, this is the head teacher. She's like, no, the place I know the places are not full. Go back there, tell them I sent you. It took something that should have taken days to work out, took like 2 months for me to be able to get space for my child, because the questions were, where's the mom? Do you live with the child by yourself? Why is she coming to school now? And I had all the documents to prove, yo, this is my child. This is the mom lives here. This is the situation. She's going to be schooling here for just a bit, and then hopefully I'm taking her to the UK anyway. And she missed 2 months of school because someone did not think that I don't know if they thought I could not afford the fees, or because I look like, and that I would say that was discrimination. So I think if I was well groomed and with a nice suit and I went driving, I actually went in driving, which is weird. If I went in driving, they would have been like, oh, yo, giving. I went in driving.
Ingia haraka. Kuja.
Ingia haraka. I think niona nikiingia na gari labda.
Ungepeleka ofisi alafu unafinya kwanza kwa ching.
Mimi ni Mjaluo, lakini mimi ni Mjaluo fake. So nimeingia na kifunguo ikiwa kwa mfuko. Badala nikuje nayo so do you have space? I'm looking for a slot for my child. Mimi nimeenda hapo hivyo niko mawoye. And then they're just like, no. It started from the gate. They were just because I didn't go with the child. I went by myself. It started at the gate. They're looking at me like, yo, bro, are you sure? Are you sure you want to bring
a new music teacher?
Yeah.
Nice.
I ended up going to a different school, then being referred back. After looking for a while, I received a call and they were like, yo, we've sorted a space for you. Come bring your child, which is weird, shouldn't happen, And now she's studying in the UK. So wow.
So someone is asking, your Silambir is asking, ama ulingia na Okada?
Okada, what?
Okada?
Oh, but everyone uses bodas now. I don't know why people make it look so bad. Like,
but that is really, and Sam, to be honest, I do understand you because, like when I tell people that I have a daughter who's turning 8, the first thing they go is like, and I'm like, okay, I've been.
But that is my first reaction immediately, right now. Okay, I am people. In fact, I was about to move back, and then you moved back. I was like, I almost did it. I was about to go like, where? Funny, how old are you when you got a kid? And then you said people laughing. I was like,
I took care of myself. And I've been in situations whereby a lot of people have accepted me to be able to join in because they realize that I'm a mom. Like when people realize that I am a mother, then they'll be like, oh, okay. Because there's a time I remember there's a conversation and these guys, they're speaking in Kikamba. And I speak fluent Kamba. So they're like, umona yo mama amekuja, umona yo slay queen amekuja hapa. And I'm like, what is this? It was like a certain club that you were doing for our kids, like an outside activity. Like, umona yo slay queen amekuja. Ati, I think amekuja kuangalia ni nani wale wababa wenye hawana mama zao. And I'm like, wait, what? What's going on? And they're talking, and then like when they're pointing like. So what happened is I went and I responded in Kao, and I told them, in fact, actually, my daughter, she's that one there, and she's turning this age. No, I'm not a slay queen, and no, I'm not here to look for single dads. I'm here because I want my kid to enjoy this activity. But thank you, ladies.
Wow.
But even if you are, why should it be their business? Even if you are.
Yes, John Kane.
I have a question. Were you carrying your handbag like this and your phone on this other side with the car key on this other side like this?
Dude,
was
that I was
your
in pajamas.
entry point?
Like this. This is how we walk when we enter.
First of all, like, I was in like,
Christine? Christine was meant to get me at the door. Christine, Chris, I hate standing by myself. All these stupid men are looking at me. Where are you? Can you see me or not? Oh my God. And then you find out you're like, I hate these places you come to. I hate them. Of course they're going to comment, but men like to look at beautiful things. That's the way it is.
That is the way it is. I am men.
Yeah, we like to look at beautiful things. So why do you have to go out looking plain without makeup? You don't see us complaining when you ain't got no money. Like, accept our makeup the way we accept your financial situation. Like, this is the way it is.
Oh my god, you guys. Okay, then apart from that, now the other thing is, I don't know, John King, maybe you have this. What are some of those, like emotions that you've experienced, especially, like sometimes as parents, we do break down, like we break down heavy, kabisa, because of certain situation. But have you ever been in a situation whereby you are breaking down because you're just thinking, oh my God, I am trying to date, I am trying to do this. It's like all together, it's too much. Before we unwind this show.
Yeah, I mean, there was this period I was dating this person that was very hopeful with, and kind of disappointed me in the end. And as some had said, you can only have so many aunties to introduce your children to, and I was tired of it. I was really tired of Noni, don't fall down.
No, it's not. When Conchitah said, do you have any emotions? I was like, JK has all the emotions for all of us in Nairobi. He got the love, the faith. This is a guy who'll serenade you outside your window. I love you, Mosheri. As in, JK is so emotional. JK is the guy you'll know he has broken up with someone. Motivational quotes kadhaa. Number 2, JK atatoka group zote. Number 3, black profile picture. That's it. It's like the first 3 signs of a breakup. I was just like, I need to go and see my boy. I need to go see him.
My mother
I'll
told
give
me
him whiskey and tell him, what a follow. What is this? Put your profile picture back. What are you doing? This guy will sing all the songs by the script. Am I making all there trying to calm me down? Hey, this guy will sing all the songs. This guy gets heartbroken. Okay, that is why I'm over here killing my mouth. Like, who hurt you? Who hurt you? Show me her face. I'd be like, yeah, Edgar Barry, I have tea. I have tea for you.
The thing is, yes, there are those times that I also had my own seasons of breaking down. You're disappointed, and then you're looking at your child, and and saying, how am I going to explain this? Now you can no longer relate this way and things like that. It was too much for me at certain points, right? So then I decided just to take a back seat and promise myself that this time around, when I'm introducing my daughter to anybody, it has to be somebody that I know for a fact we are having something going.
Yeah. That is really, really, really amazing.
I don't think I've ever had. I've never been in that situation. Thankfully, I don't think I've ever. I've been broken down when there are times when you're feeling like things are not working out. For example, like there was a time I didn't have a job for a while, and you're like, oh, things are not working out. I don't know how I'm going to provide for provide the things that my child needs, and there's those breakdowns, but I've never had, thankfully, an issue, a breakdown of, oh, I'm not meeting someone or blah 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 blah. I'm just like, wakikuja watakuja, wasipokuja watakuja. That's it. Like that's it. If you're not in the picture, you're not in the picture. Period. If you're in the picture, you're in the picture. I deal with that as it comes. Whereas with other things, I'm more focused on trying to make things work.
Yeah.
I put more effort in trying to make things work outside of that. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, guys, this is the time that we have for today. But remember, we will be back next week with more of this conversation. Our time is up. And those who are joining us, please share the link. You can watch this to your friends later. Remember, on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. That is at Lycon Media page. This has been so much fun, guys. Noni?
Thank you. Thank you.
So much
nice
for
to meet you, Sam and Conchitah.
John King, anything you want to add?
It's been amazing show, having our lovely 2 guests today. It's really, really the kind of conversation that we want to carry on. We go through some of these things. We also do cry. Even men do cry. We also cry about situations that we cannot
I do.
control. You know, your child is going to go angry. You also feel those kind of things. Same as women. So these are community. Let us have the conversation. Let us help one another. Let us give solutions to one another. So I'm really grateful, Sam, for joining us all the way from the UK. Noni, my girl from Kiambu County, what's up? It's
UK.
happening. It's happening.
I'm the Campbell.
You know. And guys, remember to like the page, share with your friends, share with your colleagues. Let's have this conversation. Let's benefit out of the information that we keep on talking about, experiences. Today we can laugh about some of these things. It wasn't very funny back then. Yeah? But that tells you that life has its ways of modeling you, and you get wiser by the day. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Guys, that's our time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.